It's because you talked about selling your soul to the devil a couple weeks ago.
That's what it is. Things have been going wrong.
Apparently, it's hard to sell yourself soul directly to Satan himself, but there's like 16 demons or something. And I was reading up, and like each one, you would approach that demon because they provide help with X, Y, or Z. There's like the same way, like, oh, this is Saint Christopher. It's for when you lose something or whatever that nonsense is. There's like a demon for like gaining power over people, or maybe a demon for gaining possession. There's like 16 or 18 of them.
I imagine the demon that gives cash just has a line out the door, right? That like also health issues, maybe
financial value
comes to mind, but
yeah,
the health issues demon. Yeah, that seems like a risk.
Yeah, but if there's any actual demon worshippers out there who would like a fresh soul, let us know. I'm currently looking around for someone who's interested.
Looking for a good deal.
Yeah, Josh, would you sell your soul to the devil for something? Because Kyle and I are big time team. Don't sell your soul to the devil.
Let me lay out the
Woody
scenario.
Doesn't care. Woody treats it like it's some blasé thing.
Yeah, let me lay out the exact scenario. So.
Now, don't think I won't get competitive offers from the Tooth Fairy.
So I'm talking about getting a guy in the call who's an actual like demon worshiper or some sort of grand wizard of them or some such, and he enter into a contract with Woody. And meanwhile, Woody has a piece of paper that I've mailed him that has the contract written out, and then he lances his thumb, puts a little bloody thumbprint on there, whatever, and agrees to sell his soul to this man as a middleman for the devil, I suppose, or some demon. And make the whole thing official. And I was just saying, I would not do that.
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, like theoretically, I don't remember ever having been just a soul. If you're signing this contract, that means it exists. You're going on to somewhere. If that's true, this paper proves it or whatever, then I don't want to risk the ownership of that. I don't know. I'm just going to take my odds.
Contract doesn't just prove that the buyer's stupid. If
that's the case, then sure. But I mean, if we're talking about this supernatural paranormal scenario where you're going to get this result for your soul.
I'm not sure. No,
we don't know.
I am not sure. I am 99% sure that my soul will not then be in possession of a demonic, otherworldly being.
Oh, okay. So you're saying just in case.
Sure. But in case.
Yeah, this is like a PKA fan
motherfucker.
That claims.
I've never had a car accident in my life. Every time, clickety click, clickety clack, buckle it up. Not selling my soul to any no.
I guess you got a good point. It's a little bit too high risk for potential reward there. I guess you got a good point. Even if you take that philosophically, if it's a 1% chance, of this eternal thing going on, then maybe you're right. Maybe you shouldn't trade it for the next 50 years of success,
Let's say that you're not selling your soul. That
selling somebody else's done.
Death or $10 million. It's not 50-50. 99% chance you get the cash. Would you roll the dice on that?
Nah.
How do you die?
Quickly.
Instantaneous death?
Yeah.
Do you know that you got it wrong?
It'd be like the Thanos
hit the button and fall?
Where you do sort of a painless turn into dust.
I didn't think I'd make it this far. And
me too.
You didn't think you'd make it to 37?
Oh, I thought
I didn't think I'd make it to 30
like 10 years ago.
I thought you were going to blow yourself up.
Every time I pulled that trigger, I was like, here we go.
You did almost die a couple times. That's true.
I figured something would happen.
I just recently saw on Twitter that video. Oh, my God.
It crops up every once in a while. And everyone's like, where's FPSRussia? I wish he would come back.
If you think of it like that, right, where like I don't even know I've gotten it wrong. I'm just gone. Yeah. Why not push the button? You'll never know what happened. Either A, now you've got $10 million. Or B, silence.
Ride's over.
You do that a 50-50 shot. You would hit that button.
I thought he said 99.
No, I said 99 to 1.
Oh, 99 to 1. Okay.
I'd give you better odds than that, Taylor.
He'll take 75.
And I pull it twice.
That's an interesting question. How many times would you pull it? Is 10
double
million
or I get my 10 and I'd be like double or nothing. And the devil will be like, what does that even mean? Like, I get an extra soul. I want a 1-up like Mario, motherfucker. I get a 1-up, extra life, up in the top right of the corner of the screen, or you get the soul and 10 million. And he'd be like, shit.
This guy's a good bargainer.
One of those souls that I already took off somebody. I could get it if we go on a roll against Satan. Man, what do you value a 1-up as? A 1-up is worth way more than $10 million.
Yeah,
he's gonna bamboozle you. Like,
I
I don't
wanna
think you
know-
want to get in you don't want to get in a negotiating battle with
Why do you
the
think
devil.
the 1-up is so valuable? Like, what happens when you
9 lives, right? You die and then
It's
you
like you
don't.
fall over dead and then you stand right back up. Good as new.
Okay, Kyle.
And hopefully they replace the kidney failure or
Shockingly,
whatever.
you made it
Yeah.
to 81 years old. You can
Yeah.
hardly remember your name. You drool a little bit, and you don't
Yeah.
walk so well. You die.
Okay.
Now you bounce back. You drool a little. You can't remember your name, and you don't walk so
Clearly.
well.
Clearly
What
you
kind of
haven't
deal
played
is this?
Mario 3, Mario World. He's running around, fucking swinging that feather thing, doing his spins. He hits one of those plants, potter plants or whatever, falls. He's little Mario again.
Now he shrinks
I'll just be
down.
little Kyle again. I'll die as the 81-year-old, and I'll fucking 1-up, like and I'll be little Kyle, and I'll be like, shit, let's do this again with our $10 million. We took off $20 million. We took off
How little? Like, you need to find new parents.
I want to be 8. I want to be 8 years old, because at 8 years old, you're physically strong enough to like manipulate the world around you. You could pull switches and knobs,
With an adult brain,
door handles, and everything. And but dude, you could walk right up to anybody and punch them in the dick, and they can't say shit. Not only that, you're an 8-year-old worth $20 million. You're like Macaulay Culkin. You're. It's better than anything you could imagine. Now, yeah, I'm pulling the button twice, Woody. That's my answer. I'm pulling it twice. If the devil will give me the 1-up and let me be childlike Macaulay Culkin who punches people in the dick with $20 million.
I don't want to be 8.
Deal.
I want to be 16 because I can't wait 8 years to come again.
And to come waiting to, what do you mean? 8 years old? You just have to wait 3 years. You just
So which is worse? Which is worse? As an 8-year-old with an 80-year-old mind, is it worse to find yourself some 9-year-old or to like find some out there who's down?
Ooh.
Those are both reprehensible.
I don't know. My
Just-
reaction was, if you're down and you have adult like competency and thought processes, you're practically doing the Lord's work by satisfying this guy's needs.
Wait, so you're not even like getting to enjoy childhood again in your own scenario?
Childhood? My brain in that body. Fuck childhood. Did you have fun?
Yeah, a lot of.
Let's do high school all over while we're at it. Get the hell out of here. No, we're not doing school.
You're going to be taken into a foster home and abused, and Satan will be laughing. And then they're going to, the state is going to claim your $20 million because they don't just let that hang out on the account for an 8-year-old.
My British lawyer, Mr. McGovern's, whatever I say, he has power of attorney over me. But my other dude, fucking Franz, he'll kill that motherfucker if he says anything I don't like. So the triumvirate that I've created with me at the head, we can do anything legally speaking as an 8-year-old millionaire.
Not at all. You're 8 years old. Franz is going to be hammering toothpicks under your fingernails until you give him the password, and then he has 20 million and you're 8.
That's just not what world are we living in where a password gives away my fortune?
A bank account, like whatever.
I've got cash. I haven't invested. I deserve to lose if I haven't invested my 20 million properly. What are we doing with a 1-up? I haven't invested. Oh, come on.
I don't know if you can have an investment account at 8.
Power of attorney.
Yeah,
he's calling the shots.
We're making all this happen.
So you have kind of a blank check situation going on here. Actually, that movie didn't pan out either.
I think that if you can prove you are earning your own living, you can like get all this adulthood stuff ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
I forget the word for it, but that's
emancipation.
Like that's about leaving your parents. No,
like a financial version.
Yeah,
I know. I hear celebrities doing it occasionally. You got those kids who are like, "You're taking all my goddamn money. What are you talking about? I'm the one in makeup at 5 a.m. since I was 7."
That used to happen to every single child star. Like,
so it's like the opposite of a conservatorship.
Yeah. Yes.
Or
it'd be the opposite of that. A
I know that retarded NFL player who was in that movie where Sandra Bullock.
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
He's from here. Okay. Michael Orr. Blindside.
That slow-minded NFL player who Sandra Bullock made the movie about. You know, she comes in like, "Oh, sugar, you're so big and strong. I bet you play football if you just had a white family take care of you." And he did. And he went to the NFL. And they've had a conservatorship on his ass his whole life. That movie came out when I was a kid. They just took the conservatorship off last week.
Yeah.
He's been. How long has he been in the
What
NFL?
Saints?
I don't know how long he played. I don't know his career, but I know the man like was in the NFL and the movie. See, here's the thing. Fuck the NFL. Like, unless you're like a big time guy, you're not making that crazy money. that movie made like $150 million or some shit. You know, that was a huge deal, and it's his story. It's pretty wild. He's like radio if radio could play ball.
Was there not a part of radio? I have not seen radio in so long.
No, radio could
could
play
have
ball.
told me that he had some kind of skills, didn't he?
No,
radio had good vibes.
He's like Forrest Gump, basically. Oh no, Forrest could play ball. He basically in radio, Cuba Gooding Jr. went full retard, and he paid the price. You know, that didn't do very well because he can't play ball. He's more of a mascot. It's like Rudy, except they never let him play. They just cheer and lift him up on the shoulders.
He pushed a shopping cart around like a homeless person with like a ham radio in it. And
that's what I remember the most. He had that ham radio. At that time, I thought Cuba was a good actor because I had seen Men of Honor with Robert Downey. I can't remember. It's where it's the true life story of Carl Brashear, the first African American Navy diver, and it's not like it's a reconnaissance diver or not rescue. Maybe it's reconnaissance, rescue, and recovery, something like that. They send them down into terrifyingly cold waters in those old timey suits. It's a really good movie. But then he made like 8 more stinkers. You ever see Snow Dogs?
I did, but I saw it when I was like 11, and so I remembered being like, "This is all right."
This is dope. Yeah, I was that age, and then like a year later, I was like, "That's lame, man."
But I do remember seeing radio around that same age, maybe a bit younger, and even having the perspective at that time to be like, "Ooh, this is a little ham-handed here. Like this guy's really, really retarded in a way that Forrest Gump is not even close to."
No,
like Forrest had like a half dozen pretty impressive skills. He was great at ping pong. He was really fast at football. He did what is a baffling ultra marathon across the country, seemingly. Came up designer, the smiley face guy. That was an accident.
He was a ship's captain and a multimillionaire.
You added his book.
So he was a good investor and a ship.
That was one of my favorite parts of the story, is that Forrest was the only shrimper who was dumb enough to be out shrimping in the hurricane.
Yeah.
So his was the only boat that survived because everyone else was lost at their, moorings or whatever. And then now he owns the whole shrimp industry because he's the only one with a fucking boat left floating. I like that little part because it kind of made sense. Some of the other stuff, it's like, I don't know.
Have any of you guys ever read the book?
I read the sequel.
Dude, it's one of the worst books I've ever read in my entire life. He's in the book, he's a math savant. He becomes the world chess grandmaster. He goes to outer space. Whole kit and caboodle. He becomes a professional wrestler and a rock star, smokes a lot of pot. It's insane. And it's very, very loosely related. It's amazing to me that they took that and cut out the garbage acid head part and made it into one of the best American films ever. Because that movie the book's a clusterfuck.
In the book, was he more or less retarded than in the movie?
More. He was basically like non-functioning other than math. He was pretty much at the point where he stumbled into all of these things. He was a hyper genius for math, and that's why he got sent into space. And then he crash landed on his way back from space and lived in the jungle with cannibals, where he learned how to play chess from one of the cannibals, and then went on to win the Grandmaster Championship because it was a math problem in his head.
The cannibal tribe knew how to play chess.
They had chess. Yes, they had chess. And he also learned how to sign language with a chimpanzee that lived in the jungle with him. So it's an insane book.
That tribe skipped some steps in like the Civ pipeline where like they just like, no, we don't need pottery or archery. Just straight to strategy games. Yeah.
It was like they had some kind of leak, they had like fabric clothes and things. They'd had contact with society or something, and it was just the most absurd. And I remember reading it and going, how did they make this movie out of this? What genius had this vision to go take out the stoner parts and you got an amazing story here? Because the rest of it's in it. The movie is in the book. There's just way more.
I was shocked by what a foul mouth Forrest Gump had in the second book.
There's a second one?
Yeah. I wanted to know what happens next. That's why I read it. Like I watched the movie and then I was like, I need to know more about Forrest Gump.
When does he stop running?
It was a terrible second book. It sounds like it was right there with the first. He cursed a lot. He became a pig farmer. He had some brilliant idea to put the poop in a cave system, but then the methane gas like caught fire and exploded the entire city. Like from below, and all the poop came over everyone, and the landscape was destroyed.
It turned out the mine was full of gold.